Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I've actually scribbled some notes in Arabic, so I'm not sure what your language of choice is, but if you will permit me to do both, I would appreciate it. سعيدة جدا أن أكون معكم الليلة. دائما وجودنا في متحف الأردن كلنا فخر وشعور بالفخر لوجودنا هون. سنان، شكرا جزيلا على كلماتك. بشار، شكرا جزيلا على المشروع الرائع العظيم. في مقدمة الكتاب بيقول الدكتور ديفيد كينيدي: الأردنيون يعيشون في كنف أكثر الكنوز الأثرية أهمية في العالم, amidst one of the most important archaeological treasures in the world. فحبيت إنه نوقف لحظة فقط عند هذه الكلمات. نسأل نفسنا: هل نقدر فعلا هذه الكنوز اللي موجودة عندنا في الأردن؟ هل نقدر معنى هذه الكلمات وأهمية التراث الثقافي والطبيعي الأثري اللي موجود عندنا؟ سؤال بسأله لنفسي دائما يوميا بشكل يومي، ودائما بوقف عنده إنه هل فعلا نعي ما هي أهمية التراث في حياتنا؟ التراث هو هويتنا، تضم 10,000 سنة من الحضارات، من القيم، من العادات، من التقاليد، الأديان المختلفة، كلها جزء من هويتنا. بطبيعة الهوية اللي موجودة عندنا كأردنيين اليوم تتسم بالتسامح، باحترام الآخر، تقبل الاختلاف بين الناس بكل أنواعه. هذا جزء لا يتجزأ من هويتنا. تراثنا منبع لقيمنا، قيمنا الإنسانية، قيمنا الحياتية، الاحترام، المسؤولية المجتمعية، المواطنة الإيجابية، علاقة الفرد بالمساحة العامة، يعني عدم التعدي على حرية الآخرين، عدم الاستهتار بالنظافة، صون الطبيعة، المحافظة على الآثار والمناطق الأثرية، حتى أخلاقيات التعامل مع الآخر. هذه جزء لا يتجزأ من القيم اللي إحنا نتوارثها من تراثنا. تراثنا منبع للابتكار، للتفكير النقدي المستقل، للعمل الجماعي. تراثنا وثقافتنا وكنوزنا الأثرية هي حجر الأساس في المنتج السياحي الأردني، جزء هام، ممكن أهم جزء حالياً في الاقتصاد والنمو والتشغيل وخلق فرص العمل. ولا بد أن أشير هنا أيضاً إنه التراث متغير، فنحن عندنا موروث من أجدادنا ولكن نضيف إليه. عمر العلمي في مقدمته في الكتاب بيقول، بسرد قصة الشعب، العادات والتقاليد اللي لمستوها خلال رحلاتكم بالأردن، وهاي ورثها الإنسان عن الأجداد، ولكن كيفها مع محيطه ومع احتياجاته، وأنتجنا من خلال هذا التكيف موروث جديد اللي إحنا راح نورثه لأبنائنا وأحفادنا، قديم جديد فريد ولكن غني. هذه المتغيرات كمان تؤثر في المواقع الأثرية. كنا نتكلم وإحنا في الساحة عند الريسبشن إنه نحن الآن في وقت حرج جدا بالنسبة لآثارنا وبالنسبة لتراثنا. المشهد في الأردن قد يكون مؤلم أحيانا بهذا الموضوع. منشوف عوامل تعري طبيعية بتأثر بالمواقع الأثرية وبتسبب انهيارات بشكل مستمر، ولكن أيضا العوامل الإنسانية عم بتسبب خراب كبير جدا، واللي لازم نكون واعيين عنه ولازم نتصدى له ولازم نتكلم بصوت قوي ومرتفع جدا، ونحط حد للممارسات اللي عم بتصير في مواقعنا الأثرية، في سرقات، في حركة بناء مستمرة غير مدروسة، غير حساسة، لا تتوائم مع خصوصية الموقع، هشاشة بعض المواقع، نزاهتها. ومن هنا تأتي أهمية هذا الكتاب. ليس فقط يعني هو عرض لصور رائعة الجمال وبمثل جمال بلدنا وتراثنا، ولكنه أيضاً توثيق مهم جداً لمواقعنا الأثرية، حتى المواقع اللي مش مهمة جداً ومش كبيرة ومش محروسة، اللي هي تتعرض أكثر من المواقع الأخرى للانتهاكات. هذا فعلاً توثيق مهم جداً. وحتى أنت كنت عم تحكي إنه بالخمس سنوات اللي وثقت فيها لاحظت إنه في تغيير على بعض المواقع وفي أثر كبير للإنسان على هذه المواقع. فهالرحلة الخمس سنوات قيمة تاريخياً، قيمة توثيقياً وغنية، وإلها أهمية كبيرة من هاي الناحية. ونشكرك يعني فعلاً جزيل الشكر على هذا المجهود الجبار. مهم جدا انه نعرف بتراثنا باماكننا الاثريه ونزيد الوعي بهذا الموروث الثقافي والطبيعي والاثري. ومثل هيك كتاب مهم جدا لهاي الشغله. بعدين سهلت علي إشي كتير مهم، الهدايا بالرحلات الرسميه فبدي اشكرك على هاي الشغله. يمكن رحلة بشار ممكن أسميها a journey of continuous discovery and wonder, و it will continue I presume as you move forward. أكثر شيء بسطني بالموضوع إنه لما بشوف شاب زي بشار مهتم بشغف وحب وعشق للتراث ولهاي المناطق الأثرية، هذا فعلا بيبعث بنفسي شعور بالأمل وشعور بالسعادة. أهم إشي إنه نشوف الجيل الصاعد مهتم جدا بهذا الموروث المهم. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your passion, for your commitment. Bringing a book into existence is probably harder than giving birth, and you must have shown great commitment over the last 5 years, and for that I am truly grateful. It's always wonderful to see young people passionate about archaeology and history and heritage. This is part of my passion as well, to see the young generation aware of their heritage, committed to its preservation, to build an identity that is rooted in their heritage, and to really build on the values that we inherit from our heritage, to celebrate differences, to celebrate diversity, to have a sense of social responsibility, of positive and engaged citizenship. So thank you very much for all your efforts. Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. I've been thinking about what I wanted to say tonight for a while, and I kind of thought to myself that this book, even though there's no people in it, it's actually more about people than I wanted to admit. It's about my own stories, and it's about the stories of the people who built these ruins. And so I decided that I would tell a bunch of stories surrounding the book, adventures of what we encountered on our path. And in order to distract you all, I've put a lot of pictures up so you don't look at me. On January 18th, 2013, I asked my very close friend, Omar Alami, if he'd be interested in going out to visit Qasr Bashir, which is an old Roman site, Roman fort in the middle of the desert. And I've never been there, and I really wanted to go, thinking that this was one of the last sites I'd ever seen in Jordan to photograph. And he, agreed, considering that he had a really good car we could get there, because you needed a 4x4 to visit it. The trip out there was something unique, and it awakened something in all of us, which was this incredible amount of freedom. And just starting off with the first image, this is what we saw when we took that first right-hand corner off of the road. Growing up in an urban environment, I'm always restricted to the asphalt in front of me. You can go around anywhere you want to, but you probably end up in somebody's garden. Out here, it's free. You can take any direction you want, and that speck in the distance is Qasr Bashir, and that was just triggered this enormous desire to find out what else is out there. We knew the classic sites. We knew, Jarash, we knew Dajloon, but we didn't know what these other hidden gems were out there. And the idea was, well, if we could find this, how about we try to find everything else and try to go after it? And the other thing that really appealed to me when I was taking pictures was the sheer sense of abandonment, how empty these places were. And this really appealed to me. I felt like an explorer running around these ruins for the first time, discovering them. Obviously, here's some more photos of the sites, which I absolutely love, and we returned to multiple times. This desire for freedom and exploration was reinforced when we decided to go to the east. Everyone knows the desert castles, but no one knows the sites that are after that. Well, one of the goals we wanted to do for the project was to find the religious sites, and we had heard of the Prophet's Tree. So one of the first goals was to go visit this site, which was after Azraq. We found the tree in January, obviously, and it was just a spectacular sight. This beacon of life in a harsh environment. Continuing we were set from that moment. That day, it was actually one long day. We were set from that moment, and just wanted to see as much as possible. In fact, we started going back to sites. Here's an example of what the tree looks like in spring. Another thing, the thing that was really encouraged us was finding roads like these. Well, when we first discovered it, we were convinced that this was an old Roman road that was, at least thousands of years old. Turns out the British built it 100 years ago, but it's still really good. We, started planning, and what would happen from that moment on was that we would spend our week at work trying to figure out which direction we would take next. We would say, let's go south this week and head out there. Another place that we went to, this is another one of those hidden forts just west of Azraq that nobody ever visits. And this sort of appealed to us in a sense of what else is out there, as I was just saying. This is Qasr Tabbah. This one was the really funny one because we just couldn't figure out where it was. And this led to how I started mapping Jordan as well, because I mapped the entire country. And what I would usually do is find the sites on the maps and then try to find the roads that led backwards to the highway and then follow that. But in this case, for some reason, even though, yes, there's a lot of roads now, we couldn't find one. So what we did was we drove south until we were parallel on the digital map and just took a right into the desert. The other thing that we found along the way was the warmth of people. All the help and support that everybody was inspired to give us along the way. One of the stories that I want to share with you tonight is the story of the time we went and slept on top of Mount Aran, or Jabal Harun. We were halfway through the project, and of course you have to know that this is just a passion project. We were doing this on Fridays. We weren't going anywhere else. We weren't working towards this. We were just heading out. We were just two random guys in a car. But as the project progressed, people became more and more interested and people were helping. One of the sites we wanted to go to was Mount Aran, and there it is, that speck in the back. We had reached out to someone we knew who worked at the royal court and just simply asked, hey, can you help us spend a night up there? And they said certainly. And within a week, we had 4 numbers of people to call in Petra. And driving down, once arriving at the gate, there was someone waiting for us. We were just like, oh my God, we're not that important. We drove in the 4 or 5 kilometers. He guided us and parked us on the bottom of the mountain, and there were donkeys waiting to carry our gear up. And Alami turned to me and was like, well, who did you call? It was just amazing, and not just the higher ups, the Bedouins were also super happy to have us there. They knew that we were there to photograph their precious sites, and this just led to some amazing things. Mount Aran is also one of my favorite sites. Obviously, you can see the expanses out there, and the beautiful views. This is us around sunset. Once we got to the top, the Bedouins had heard that we were coming and decided to make us mansaf. And we ended up spending a pitch black night under the stars eating mansaf with the locals. And it was just an incredible thing, because obviously you can't see what you're eating, so it was really hard. This is Omar and I on top of Mount Aran, on top of the shrine. We were just so fascinated about this place, and it is really, really difficult to get up there. And this is what it looked like at night. Like I said, this is these sites, and just the access that we got from and the help that people gave us once to get up here was just incredible. And the warmth they showed, and the tea, the amount of tea we drank. We never interacted with a single person who didn't offer us to come in to have a meal with them. And this is a testament to Jordan. Even in asking for directions, they would say, please come in. And we'd say, no, thank you, we've got 40 more sites to visit today. Of course, there was also the help of people who came along on the rides with us, friends, people who would fact check and help us with the texts. And, if it went down to, for me, people who were interested in hearing the stories about what I was telling them, and about the places I had found, and telling them about my favorite spots. Just to continue on, I'm going to go through some of my hidden gems. First and foremost, Jordan in springtime. This is a spectacular place, and it lasts for so long. And this challenged my notion of what Jordan was. It's not just sand, it's not just camels. There's green out there, there's trees out there. I took this photograph and didn't realize the dog was staring at me until I got home. It's just this wonderful place, and it starts around now. This is my season, I call it. Now I begin to go out there and take photographs of Jordan. This is in the Jordan Valley. One of my friends, he's sitting over there filming me. He says to me, you turn Jordan into Switzerland when you take pictures. This is a thing that we need to also show people outside. The travelers who come here thinking they're just going to come and see a few rocks and sand and obviously enjoy it, but I want to show people much, much more. And that was a second desire for this book, which was not only to show these amazing hidden sites, but was also to show the hidden gems and what more you can see. You can come and spend months out here. It's taken me 5 years. Here's another green section of Jordan. The other gem specifically that I discovered was Abila, also known as Guelbe. This was just incredible to find. It's a Byzantine city that's hidden behind a olive grove. This is in the north. And just background, you can possibly see the mountains of Syria as well. And this was the ultimate form of discovery for me, because there was no one here and I'd never heard of this place. And so it just appealed so significantly to me that I really wanted to share it with people. In this shot, this is another thing so special about this place. On the left-hand side, you can actually see a theater buried in the hillside. This was a beautiful city, and all those trees in the middle are pomegranate. On the hill that I'm taking photos of is a massive graveyard with hundreds of tombs buried throughout as well. This was my Indiana Jones moment when I went into these tombs. The next hidden gem was the remnants of the last empire that ruled this country, the Hejaz Railway. There's something that appeals to me so significantly about this. The railway, the metal, I don't know what it is, but I just love it. And being able to go out there and ride and like experience things that pilgrims had seen a century prior was incredible. We also spent an entire month tracking the train line all the way through Jordan and photographing each one of its stations. Obviously, this is the location in Wadi Rum, the offshoot. One of the other locations was Qasr Burqu, or Burku in English. This is in the eastern desert, and it's almost out in the middle of nowhere. Even when you look at it on a map, you can't understand why the people were out there, other than for the fact of the water. This is a man-made lake located in hundreds of miles of desolate desert. It's incredible. It's a testament to what water was like for people out here in that era. And coming out here and spending the night under the stars was an equal pleasure. I put this shot in just to remind myself to also mention all the people who came along with me. It wasn't just me and Alami. Alami came a significant amount on the way, and then I had to continue on my own. But I dragged friends along, and it was those friends who came and supported me and held my gear throughout the whole thing, who made a big difference as well. Of course, among the beauty, there was also sadness and destruction. Because we kept on visiting these sites, we found a lot of destruction, as the princess was talking about earlier on. There's a big issue with looting in Jordan, and we didn't notice this until maybe the second or third outing, but we would start to run into treasure hunters. And we'd start to be able to recognize treasure hunting pits as we went along. Here are examples of, on the left and right, looted graves of people who were buried centuries ago, and in the front of you, a treasure pit. Our government are trying their best to do this, and I've seen significant attempts at dealing with this, but it's a group effort, and it's a cultural effort. And one of the other goals of the book was to make people aware of this. The more people who are aware of this, the more we can actually deal with this. From the people, the locals on the ground who think it's their right to be able to do something like this, to the higher ups, people who are ignorant of it, to be able to do this. One of the saddest stories I had found out about, or we discovered ourselves, was I was searching tombs of Abila, which one was the most significant one I could photograph for the book. And I discovered this one called H60, Tomb H60. And it was called the Sphinx Tomb. And it was this absolutely beautiful tomb with two sphinxes carved into the rock. And in the middle of the tomb, there was a painting of a woman crying. And I knew from that moment that I was desperate to go find this place. And it took us about 2 months to finally reach out to the original archaeologists who had dug up this tomb and ask them if they knew a local who could take us to it as well. And from that moment, they were like, we've heard that it had been looted, and prepare yourself. And we were thinking what would they have done? What was the maximum amount of damage? We got there, and it was shocking. On the left is the original tomb, on the right is what they had left after that. We have a wealth of treasures out there, and we've still got much more. This is not a sad story, this is a story to encourage us and to learn and to push to get out there and teach more people about this. We can stop this, and we can, I keep on saying to people that our past is our future. These are treasures that we can use for the future. One of the aspects of the book was to raise awareness for this particular subject. Of course, I needed, after that downer, to put something positive and to show you what the efforts of organizations and local government and responsibility is doing. These are signs to educate people who are visiting sites. The one on the right is from a site that no one really visits, but like it's significant, you know, Tel Zira'a. And this all led to this book that we're here to celebrate this evening. Putting it together was the most rewarding and the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. It was a challenge, and I'm very proud that you're all here to celebrate that with me, and very proud that I've actually achieved it and we've gotten through and done this. Choosing which sites went into the book was a big challenge, because by the end of this project I had photographed over 250 locations. And you can't fit 250 locations and their content and their text into one book. And so it was a challenge to break down, you know, the popular ones that will catch people's eyes, and the unpopular, the unknown ones at the same time. And I feel like we've done a very good go of it. Like, we've had a good go of it, and we've achieved that goal. The book does have 120 sites and surpasses everything else that's come before that. The text, of course, you know, we worked really hard on it. Jane Taylor was involved, and she really put her heart and soul into helping. You know, we decided one of the biggest things was we wanted to educate not just people who didn't speak, you know, not just foreigners. We wanted the locals to have it, and the key to doing this, which was Sinan's idea, was to do it bilingual. And I think this is the best thing for this book, because anybody can pick it up, and especially the people we're trying to target. We want them to learn more about their country, and if they speak Arabic, then it's good for them. And it also helps for people trying to learn either language. We named the book Map and a Lens, and I'm Mr. Map and a Lens man, so I had to have my maps in the book. And for me, maps also paint a visual picture of what the region looked like. The book has about 20 maps in it that we got an American cartographer to work on and develop for us to reflect what this place looked like back then in that era. Finally, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone. I've got my little list here of thank yous. First of all, I want to thank Princess Dana for coming and being the patron of this event and supporting us. I really want to thank the sponsors who are here and who are not here as well. They invested in us when there was no physical copy to see. The government departments and officials, large and small, from the people who gave us permission to visit these sites to the people who were on the site who welcomed us with warm hearts. Scholars of all varieties who participated in helping in developing the book. Of course, friends far and near, like my close inner circle who supported me throughout all of this. And of course, the ones who are far away who heard me complaining constantly via WhatsApp. And of course, I want to thank the most important person, who obviously isn't here, which is my mother, who bought me my first camera 15 years ago. And of course, my father, who gave her the money to buy the camera. I love you both, and if it wasn't for them, this couldn't have happened either. Thank you very much.